And we are recording. What is going on, guys? Hopefully you can hear me. I think you can. I'm receiving a call. I'm going to decline it. This is going to be a pretty raw video for you guys. I'm going to try to make everything flow and give you guys a good explanation on every single step of my journey. But I'm pretty much just going to be going over how I started my journey from unprofitable to now profitable for over a year straight with multiple six figures in, payouts, money earned, whatever you want to say, and pretty much just exactly how I've attained the lifestyle that I have now through day trading and through having a mentorship program. You guys can see I'm in a little bit of a weird location. I'm in an office within my building. I kind of wanted to give you guys a cool backdrop for this video. I don't know, you guys have seen a bunch of videos in my room and stuff like that, as if you're following my TikTok and things like that. But the balconies were all taken. There was a bunch of balconies, outside private balconies that were taken. So unfortunately I could not get one of those for today, but hopefully this is a decent enough backdrop. I turned the lights off. The lighting should be good in here. But yeah, overall I'm just going to give you guys a step-by-step from unprofitable kid working at a gym to multiple six-figure 19-year-old earner, living in a high-rise penthouse, not penthouse I guess, high-rise apartment with now 2 cars. So yeah, obviously first thing I want to say before I get into this entire story, this entire journey, it'll probably be like maybe 10, 15, 20 minute video. Before I get into any of that, I just want to say all glory absolutely goes to God. The journey that I've been through over the past 12, 13 months of being profitable has been an insane one, and even just the entire journey, the last 2.5 years that I've been trying to learn trading has just been absolutely crazy. There's so many moments where I felt like it was hopeless. There's moments where I broke down. There was times where I thought that it was never going to work for me, but at the end of the day, God pulled through. He gave me everything that I asked and prayed for, and I can't thank Him enough every single day. I'm always grateful and thankful to Him for everything He's blessed me with, and I know He can take it away at any time. So I'm grateful. I live in the moment, and I do my best to try and spread the good news and give Him all of the glory and the credit for everything that I've achieved. So I just wanted to put that out there first for you guys. I'm going to try, like I said before, not do too many cuts in this video. I'm going to try to keep it pretty raw. Obviously, if someone comes in or the video gets messed up or whatever, I'll cut it. But yeah, let's start from the beginning. So when I was 16, 17, I was working at Dick's Sporting Goods. If you guys live in Illinois or maybe a state that has them, I don't know what states have them. Or if you don't even live in America, I don't know who this video is going to reach. Dick's Sporting Goods is essentially a sports store. It's a sporting goods store, obviously. They have shoes, pretty much everything for all sports, right? I worked in the shoe department. That's why I said shoes. So I worked in the shoe department. I was stocking shoes in some big warehouse in the back. I was working for, I think it was $15 an hour. I worked that as my first job the summer of when I was 16, and I ended up working that pretty much for 3 months. That was my first ever real job. Before that, I had reffed soccer games and stuff. I had been playing soccer when I was younger, probably from age 10 to maybe 19, 18, pretty much last year. And I was super passionate about it, so I was reffing games for that as well before I started working at Dick's Sporting Goods. And that was pretty much my first taste of money, right? That was my first paycheck besides from me getting gifts for my birthday or getting some money from, I don't even know. That was my first actual money that I had got. Probably my first time I had ever had $1,000. First time I probably even had $500. So that was my first little bit of money working at Dick's Sporting Goods, getting that reffing job, doing that for the 3 months over the summer. And then obviously end of summer rolls around. I don't have that job anymore. Now I'm 17, going into high school. Still reffing games every once in a while, but not too often. So I don't really have too much money. Obviously I'm not in a position where my parents didn't have money to support me, right? I'm not living badly. I just personally didn't have any money. So that was something that I really didn't like. I didn't like not being able to buy food. I didn't like having to ask my parents for money to be able to go out places. I didn't really... That stuff all made me feel really weird and almost not to get brutal on myself, but just kind of like insignificant almost, is like, man, you don't even have like 20, 30, 40 bucks to buy food or go out or do something fun, right? You got to ask your mom, you got to ask your dad for that, right? And obviously no son wants to put their mom through, okay, can you give me money? Can you give me money? Can you give me money? Right? Like, I want to be able to pay for my own things. I don't want my mom to have to pay for my things, right? So even at 16, 17, I was feeling that way, right? And I didn't really know exactly what I was going to do for money yet, but I was always on social media, and I had always seen a lot of videos on like day trading, and I had seen videos on drop shipping, videos on wholesaling real estate. Those were like the three main ones that I saw videos on. Every once in a while I'd see like an Amazon FBA video. I'm sure you guys have probably seen those videos as well. Even still, I see like videos about drop shipping and all that kind of stuff just because I'm on TikTok. My For You page and my Explore page on Instagram Reels is all just literally trying to make money, like money making schemes, I guess you could call it. And I pretty much ended up like landing on day trading, and I found TJR. If you guys know TJR, if you're in the trading space, or even if you're getting into the trading space, TJR is essentially a bigger YouTuber. And I was kind of finding him when he was first starting out, before he moved to Puerto Rico, moved to Miami, had all the big houses and cars and all that kind of stuff. He just had a YouTube channel, and he was, I know, making money off of crypto. I know that he was making money trading Forex, and I just looked up to him. I saw he was making his bootcamp video. He had this bootcamp series on YouTube, the TJR Trades Bootcamp, one of the best free resources on YouTube, easily. And he had that bootcamp, and he pretty much was literally day by day releasing a video on how to learn how to day trade, right? All the basic concepts of day trading. And I was lucky enough to be around when he was first making those videos. Obviously now they're posted on YouTube, but he would update a new video every single day. And so the summer of, I think when I was like 17, probably, maybe even 16 actually, depending on when he released it. Sorry, I'm getting my timelines messed up a little bit here, but 16 or 17, pretty much, it was the summertime, I remember it. He was releasing these videos day by day towards the beginning of my school year. He was releasing these videos pretty much outlining exactly how to learn how to day trade, all the basic concepts and everything. And I had started to watch them because it was like a free resource, and it was something that I knew I could use to learn. So I was using those videos, and I was learning slowly, but I didn't know 100%, and I wasn't super dedicated to watching the videos every day. Like I was just getting like my first little taste of day trading and what it was. So that was my first like little bit of exposure. Obviously, besides the TikToks and the Instagram Reels, my first bit of exposure to trading was that TJR Trades Bootcamp. And I still, to this day, recommend that bootcamp to any one of my students, anyone who is just getting into trading. That TJR Trades Bootcamp is the #1 resource that you can use online for free to learn the basics. 100%. He doesn't necessarily go into strategy very much, but as far as learning the basics, to be able to have all the puzzle pieces and then find a way to put them together, he's the best by far. So after that, right, I get my boot camp. I'm watching the boot camp. It's sporadic. I'm not super dedicated. I end up going into school like maybe 17, my junior year. It's not super serious about day trading, but still trying to learn it for sure. I'm like doing like the chart patterns and shit. I'm doing like the falling wedge and whatever it's called. All that stupid stuff where the guys on Instagram go and they fucking do their little graph on the piece of paper, and they try to sell you a $10 PDF. I was doing all that stuff. Now, I saw that this TJR guy, right, he had a Discord server where he would call out his trades every day live, and I could pay to watch it. And I was like, wow. So I could literally just put money into an account and just start making money because this guy tells me what to do? Cool. How do I put money into an account? That was my first thing. How do I put money into an account? I was 17 at the time. I wasn't able to put money into a Webull account to trade options because I was only 17. So I got my dad's login, and he gave me his login. My mom didn't know about it. She would be super mad if she knew that. But my dad gave me his login to basically be old enough to be able to put money into an account and make money with it, right? And pretty much I was like, well, I don't have any money, so need to get a job. So I ended up getting a job at my dad's gym. I worked at his gym. I was doing personal training and sales, and that's kind of where I learned how to start selling as well. Kind of just getting into like the mentorship aspect as well. Like I learned how to talk to people. I learned tonality. I learned how to just overall be a more. I learned the gift of the gab, if that makes sense. And I think every single person, whether you get into trading or you do whatever, anyone who wants to make money, anyone who wants to be a successful man or a human being in general, should have a sales job at some point. That's what I believe personally. I think that it really does help you interact with a lot of different types of people. And I think that that's one of the biggest character building opportunities I had in my entire life was just having a sales job and dealing with rejection and dealing with, people lying to you about, I got to talk to my wife, whatever. Like dealing with those things where you have to overcome someone else and you're almost battling that person back and forth. Like every interaction is a sale if you really think about it. And I'm getting kind of off track here, but I'm going to keep it raw with you guys. I'm keeping this entire video raw. I'm not doing any cuts, not doing any edits. So yeah, pretty much that was my sales experience. I was working at the gym doing personal training and sales, selling memberships to the gym. It was like $30 a month. So then next thing is, okay, cool. I have a little bit of money. I know that this TJR guy is giving out signals. I know that I can pay, I think it was $250 a month, which was a lot of my paycheck. I was making about maybe like 1.5 to 2.5 maybe $1,000 a month off the gym. And I was still at full-time school. I was all day at school, working probably 40 hours a week at the gym as well after school, 5 days a week, I would say. Maybe 3 days during the week and then sometimes 2 days on the weekend. Some days I would be working like 12-hour days just to make up my hours and stuff like that as well, because I would go to school from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then I would work like 4 till I think 10 or 11. So 6 hours a few times during the week, and then on the weekend just grinding out those longer shifts. It was not enjoyable. It was not enjoyable. Let me say that. I really hated it. I did not want to work like that for the rest of my life. I knew a lot of people at my job that I was like, man, you are, a lot older than me, and this is your day-to-day life. I just didn't want that to be my day-to-day life. Nothing against that. Nothing against people who work a normal job. Nothing against anyone like that. I know that those people are super valuable to society. For me personally, I just didn't want that to be my reality. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I definitely got to invest in this, okay? So I started putting money into that Webull account. I was trading options. I wasn't trading futures. I was just trading options. Didn't know what I was doing at all. All I knew is that I could look at a chart. He was going to tell me what to do, and I would press buy or sell, and it would either go up, and I would make money on the options book. And if I could make like $150 or $250, I would post it on my Snapchat story and be like, I'm the biggest boss of all time. Thinking like I'm super rich, right? Knowing damn well I'm going to lose it the next day anyway. So I was doing that. I was doing the signals. I was every day in gym class. I was on my phone trying to wait for him to tell me exactly what we were going to do, hoping that he took a winning trade for the day. And yeah, pretty much that's what I was doing. Signaling from him, and eventually he ended up closing his Discord. I was super pissed. I was so mad when he closed his Discord. I was like, what the? He didn't close it fully, but he closed his Discord to the point to where nobody could watch him live trade anymore, because he didn't want, or he was live trading, but he wasn't going to tell people when he entered, and so nobody could really copy him, and that really made me mad because I didn't know what I was doing, so all I wanted to do was copy him. But obviously his goal was so that people could not copy him. That's why he did it. So what he did worked for me. It ended up helping me actually get to that next step to actually start learning instead of just trying to copy him. So then I was on social media again. Social media is seriously so helped me so much in my entire journey. If you are not on like trading social media or whatever you're trying to go after, whether that's trading or drop shipping or whatever it is, I always say drop shipping, but if you're not within your niche on social media, like if your entire feed isn't trading content, if your entire feed isn't content about making money, then you're not going to be given the resources to actually learn more and more and more. So like I always knew when I started something, like because I used to play soccer when I was younger as well. I talked about this earlier. Whenever I was like playing soccer, I was like, okay, I need to surround myself with like soccer content on TikTok, on soccer content on Instagram, soccer content on YouTube, because it made me motivated to want to go and play soccer, learn soccer, get better at soccer, right? Same thing for trading. When I was in the TGR Discord, I was like, okay, cool. There's some other guys who got Discords. Okay, this guy does this. This guy does this. These are all the different strategies. I was surrounding myself with that content so that I was able to then go and learn more, and just overall my daily like routine. Obviously, everyone scrolls on their phone. That's part of the daily routine. This phone like literally takes up so much of my time. Now I'm getting a call again. But yeah. The phone takes up so much of your time every single day. Might as well fill it with trading content and things that are going to actually benefit you, right? So I saw PB trading. That's when I stumbled upon PB trading. They were two guys, Patty and Blake, and they had a Discord where they also live signaled. And I was like, wow, look at this. Another live signaling Discord group where I can literally just put money into an account and do whatever I want, and they can just make me money, and I don't even have to learn anything. I don't have to learn any of the complicated terms, anything like that. All I got to do is just trust these guys, and hopefully they make me some money. Super lazy, what everybody does, and it never works out in the end. So I get into the Discord, and these guys are talking about something called futures, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is futures? And they're like talking about all this different stuff, all these different charts. They're like, you're not even on the right chart. You're on NAS 100. We're on NQ. I'm like, what the fuck is NQ? What's a funded account? They're talking about funded accounts, talking about all this stuff I had never heard of in my life. And by now I'm like almost a year into my trading journey, and I'm like, damn. So there's other things besides me trading options on Webull and fucking. I was always wondering how people made so much money trading with so little money, because I was putting like $300 into a trade on Webull on options and making like $100 to $200, and I was like, man, I never made more than I think $300 in a day trading options. But when I did, I felt like I was the man. So I always knew there was something else out there. I just didn't know how to find it. So this Discord was the way for me to find it. And there was a guy in there. His name was Trin, and he helped me out a lot. He actually helped me out majority of the time by making fun of me because I didn't know what I was talking about so much. And he would be like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? And I think it was hard because I think he thought that I knew a little bit more than I did, but he would still make fun of me to the point to where it's like, oh, like we both know a similar amount. That's why I'm making fun of you. But I had no fucking clue what I was doing. And he helped me out so much to just start learning what futures were, what a funded account was, what the best companies were for funded accounts, all that kind of stuff. And let alone that, I was, able to get my first funded account, and I was able to also watch Patty and Blake trade. And the way Patty and Blake traded was with smart money concepts, or ICT as everybody likes to call it. And I had never heard of that. I didn't know about session highs, session lows. I didn't know about any of that stuff. Like I said, I was literally just a signal bot for the first almost full year of my trading with TJR. And once I got into the Discord with Patty and Blake, I was like, okay, now I'm actually starting to learn. They would do daily backtesting sessions. They would do live trading. I was actually starting to learn. I was like, okay, cool. These guys are kind of like my mentors. These guys are helping me learn. They're answering my questions. I'm DMing them one-on-one. They weren't super big at the time, so I was still able to get that support from them, as well as just the people in the Discord in general who were already making money trading. So lo and behold, a couple months in, after signal botting them for like the first month and a little bit, after I started learning what ICT concepts were a little bit more, obviously I knew what things were. I knew what fair value gaps were and all the different concepts and confluences. I knew what they were. I just didn't know how to put them together necessarily, and I didn't really have an entry model. Lo and behold, like I said, a month later pretty much, I was learning about the entry model with inverse fair value gaps, and that was something that really helped me on my journey, and I talk about this all the time. I knew every single piece and confluence that you needed to become a profitable trader. I just had no entry model, and I had no system. That's what Patty and Blake really gave me, is a system and just the support system within the community and the Discord to actually help me to get to that next level and give me the knowledge that I needed to be able to understand what I was really doing, trading futures versus trading options and how they're different and all that kind of stuff, which is why I'm super passionate about building out my Discord that I have now within Motion Network, which, by the way, all the links will be in the bio for Motion Network, my Instagram, my TikTok, everything like that, even also like the one-on-one mentorship link. It'll all be in the bio below, so you can go check that out as well. But something that was super important to me when I was building Motion Network is just building out a community of traders who know what the fuck they're talking about. Just like how in PB, there was so many guys that helped me on my journey because they just knew what they were talking about. Meanwhile, I'm over here like an idiot having absolutely no clue what's going on. But all I needed was that support system, and now look where it got me. So I ended up buying my first funded account. I did all my first funded accounts through Apex Trader Funding, and I ended up getting funded on a couple of them. I probably bought like maybe 5 accounts total with Apex Trader, and I ended up getting funded on I think 2 of them. And I never got a payout on Apex from those accounts or anything like that. Those were my first accounts because obviously, like I said, I was doing my own money on Webull options before I actually started to trade futures and trade on prop firms. So I got those Apex Trader Funding accounts, passed them, blew them. Then I was like, man, like I don't really like Apex anymore. Apparently they're a really bad firm. Everyone in the Discord was kind of telling me like, oh, they're a really bad firm, blah, blah, blah. And so the Trin guy, like I said, actually told me about this company called My Funded Futures. And at the time, he had done one of the craziest things I had ever seen anyone do in the trading space, which he took a $50,000 account and he made $83,000, I believe it was $83,000 of profit on that account. So he essentially almost tripled the account's value. He made $83K on a 50K account. He brought the account to $133,000. That's absolutely crazy. I've never seen anybody do that. And I asked him, I was like, what account are you using? He's like, My Funded Futures. I was using a 50K. He was using an expert account on there. And I was like, man, I want to try that. And so what do? I spend like $450, I think $500 maybe dollars of my paycheck, still working at the gym, by the way, this entire time, still working at the gym. I had also, just brief update in the timeline, I had also graduated high school May of 2024, and now it is, May of 2024. I joined the Discord for PB in March, maybe. So March, April, May, I was inside the Discord learning, and then in May I graduated high school 2024, and it was now June and July of 2024. So I'm working. I had just moved. I moved to a new state, or not a new state, sorry, a new town in my state. I was like maybe 20 minutes difference, not super far. And I was still working at the gym, but now I was working more so. I was working like maybe 50 hours a week now, so a little bit more because I wasn't going to go to school. I decided I wasn't going to go to college, and I decided that I was going to try and make trading work. So that's what it was. I was going to try and make trading work. I was going to maybe try and make fitness work. I didn't really know. I just wanted to make something work that was not going to be me going to school or working at a corporate company for the rest of my life. So anyway, I get the funded account. I bought a 100K My Funded Futures expert account, my first ever funded account with them. And I ended up being on the PB Live. I had gotten to a point where I kind of understood my entry model. There was a few times where I was trading and I was like, okay, cool. And I was risking anywhere. Like I just had, at the beginning of my trading, I had so much confidence, just like everybody else. Like I had learned the strategy. I learned all the confluences. I knew how to put them together. I was having winning trades. I was watching the back testing sessions. I was understanding everything that was going on in the model to a point where I was like, you know what? I can do this. Like I don't even need them. I was on their live stream, literally just trading on my own, being like, you know what? I don't even need these guys. They're probably going to take a losing trade. I'm going to take a winning trade today. And I would trade like 2, 3, maybe 4 minis sometimes on some of these trades and be making like $2,000 a day. So that 100K account, I passed that account in 3 days. The profit target, I believe, for a 100K account was $6,000. I passed it in, I think, 3 days. And the next step was literally, now we're on the funded account. And because I had never had a funded account with My Funded Futures, I didn't really understand how all of it was really working. I knew that I was making money, but I didn't understand the magnitude of what I was doing yet, which is kind of a blessing in disguise because I think I would have stressed myself out a lot more. Not to say that I wasn't stressed, but I think I would have stressed myself out a lot more if I realized that all this money was literally just coming into my bank in the next 2 weeks if I just kept it up. And that's why I tell all my students as well, like you really have to disconnect yourself from the actual P&L and the daily like money that you make from trading, because the more you think about it, the more emotional it becomes, and then you start trading on emotion and not on your system, right? So for me, I was just super confident, and I had a system that I knew was working because I had built it out with PB. I was like, okay, cool, I'm super confident, I know my system works, I'm just going to take my trades and I'm going to win them because I have a good system. If I ever lost, who cares? I knew I was going to win again. So I was like, okay, cool. 2 minis, 3 minis, I was making a lot of money. That first ever funded account, I ran up $17,000 in profit on that account. Now, the My Funded Futures split was I had to have a 3K buffer, and then the rest of the 3K after that, I was able to take out the rest. So I had a 14.2K payout for my first ever payout. And I'll show it to you guys here. I actually have a screenshot. It was literally almost exactly a year ago today. Today's July 20th, and my first ever payout happened on July 10th. I want to show you guys this. Find it on my phone quick. Pretty much, I'm literally I'm telling you guys, normal paycheck, $300 in my bank account. Like, I'm taking a $14,000 payout. Before this $14,000 payout, I had never had more than maybe $1,000. Maybe I had never had more than $4,000 in my bank account in my life before this payout. And the $4,000 that I had, it wasn't even mine. It was because I had to transfer it through to send to somebody else. The most money I ever had of my own money was maybe $2,000 one time. Like maybe. I'll show you guys this payout certificate. If you guys see it, hopefully it loads. I'll make sure it loads. You can see $14,214, July 10th, 2024. Or July 17th, 2024. I requested on July 10th. And that was my first ever payout. I ran up $17,000. I was able to take a $14,000 split out of that. and I had the most money I'd ever had in my entire life. Now, this was about 2 months after I had graduated high school. I was about to have my graduation party. Literally, the day that I got the money was the day I had my graduation party, and I was sitting there like, man, I just made $14,000 off day trading. I don't have, like, I had my graduation party. I was telling people I was working at a gym and I wasn't going to school, and everyone was like doubting me, and like they're like, "Oh, you're gonna work at a gym? And you're gonna do personal training and day trading? Like, are you kidding me? You're not gonna go to school?" That's what everybody's reaction was. Like, genuinely, that's what everyone's reaction was. And I was like, I just made 14, and I didn't tell anybody that I had just made money day trading. I just told them that's what I wanted to pursue because I didn't want to say anything, but I had already had the success, but I wasn't gonna tell anybody. So I had just made $14,000 day trading. And I'm sitting there at my graduation party and everyone's telling me it's not going to work, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And something inside me was like, you know what? I can't let them win. I can't let them be right. I can't. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I have $14K in my bank. I literally have zero living expenses. I have no car payment. I have nothing. Living at my mom's house, I don't have to pay for anything. I can have $14,000 saved in my bank account. I'm going to take the next 3 months minimum and I'm going to try and make this trading shit work. And guess what I did? Next month, $6,000 payout. Month after that, $0 in payouts. Nothing. But I had made $20K from trading. So in the 3 months, I was averaging about $6.5K a month off trading. That's still much better. Then the next month after that, I think it was literally next month after that, I made $52,000 day trading. Think about that. I made 14, 6, 0, 52,000. Next month, I think I made 12,000. And then I literally just, from there, continued to let it spiral and scale and scale and scale and scale. Ended up averaging like multiple 5 figures a month off of only day trading. And now here I am a year later in a high-rise apartment with 2 cars. And now I'm able to teach people one-on-one and teach people in groups how to do the exact same thing that I did, all because I took a risk and I bet on myself. And I hope that this story helped you guys, and I hope I was able to outline every single step of the process in the right way. I'm kind of just freeballing it here. I'm just literally talking, and hopefully you guys are able to understand the story in chronological order. Also, the month I got 52K in payouts, I forgot to add this. I bought my first ever car. I bought my BMW M4. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. I can show it again. But yeah, I bought my first ever car, my BMW. A literally dream car. I always wanted a BMW, but I didn't know which one I was going to get. So I bought my dream car. This is it. You guys can see it. Hold on. Dream car at the time, at least. Now we have bigger goals, but I bought my dream car after I got my $52,000 month. Bought the car, and then I just bought a G-Wagon as well. I can show you guys that. Let me see. Let me find it in my camera roll here, guys. Just got this recently as well. Show you guys. Hopefully it focuses. Pretty cool. And yeah, all because of day trading. Literally all because of day trading. All because I was able to learn a skill, master it, and then also learn how to teach other people that skill. Now, I'm able to make money now off of trading. I'm able to make money now off of teaching other people how to trade. And now I'm even able to make money off of companies wanting me to use my platform that I've built on social media to be able to promote their products, such as funded accounts and all that kind of stuff. So I really came full circle. Everything about my life is all about trading. Everything about my money that I make is all about trading. I'm 100% invested into trading. Okay? Now, if there's one thing that I wanted to say to close this off for you guys, it's this. There's going to be people who are going to doubt. There's going to be people who don't believe in you. And there's going to be times that you even don't believe in yourself. And here's the one thing that I'm going to say to you. What would life be like if you decided to let those negative thoughts and you decided to let the enemy win versus pursuing what you know in the end will be successful if you put enough time, effort, and energy into it? What would life be like if you let those negative thoughts win? Think about it like that. And even I'll give you this as well. think about it like this. There's two options. You let the enemy win. You go through life doubting yourself, letting other people's opinions affect you. Or, on the flip side, you block out the opinions, you block out the noise, you block out even yourself sometimes. You change your brain to stop doubting itself and start framing all your thoughts into, this is hard now, but I can do it. Every doubt, deny it in your head. What would it be like if it all worked out? Think that way. What would it be like if it all worked out and I put every ounce of time, energy, and effort I had into this skill set? What would it be like? Think about it like that. Think about those two different outcomes. And really think on that. Now, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys appreciated this video and understood it. The first thing that I want to say after this now is, if you guys are getting into day trading, if you guys are trying to learn day trading and you want to work with me one-on-one, or you want to be a part of my community, I'm putting all the links in the description below. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts. Let me know if you're struggling with trading, if you want to learn trading, if you are even stuck in your journey. I'm here to help. I have my own story. I'm super transparent on all my social medias. I have students who are winning, who are crushing it. I have videos on my YouTube of student interviews as well that you guys can go check out. I have Jake, I have Nathan. I'm trying to get a few more of the guys to do their testimonials because I want everyone to know that they're crushing it. But some people are, obviously they don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be posted on YouTube, but all good. But yeah, if you want to learn trading, if you are new in trading, if you are stuck in trading, even if you already have gotten a few payouts, I help traders start and scale. So please comment on this video, DM me below, or check out my mentorship. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for listening if you're listening. And thank you, God. Peace out, guys.